my vocabulary does change a little bit, and my accent changes a little bit as well. That is true. But here we go. We're diving into our grand finals, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Post Youth, we have our blue Protoss player from the land of South Korea, representing Club NV, just took down Gumiho in the best of 3 semifinals. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Terran player representing KZ Gaming, DKZ, just took down Nightmare in said semifinals. It is Oliveira. They have both proven themselves in this matchup in the PvT, but who can take it over the other? How will this series unfold? As for the first time tonight, we're loading in to Post Youth. Oh boy, here we go. And Post Youth, one of the more vetoed maps in the map pool, has a very unique feature on the has some very unique features as well. We have a hybrid gold base here as the Pocket Natural, or really the main base. It's wild, it's crazy. We have a free base to be taken. We also have a gold in the center of the map as well. We have a very short rush distance by ground, but we also have some pretty defendable, or we should say the bases themselves are quite spread out, so it can lead to longer games as well. There's a lot that comes into Post Youth, and most players want none of it. Most players, they just veto the hell out of this map, but we're here in a best of 5. In the best of 5, we are here. And Creator, what are we up to? Hello, Bobby. Okay, we're going for a proxy pylon across the map. I mean, this is prime for a proxy Stargate, which would be a nice way to make use of some of the other locations of this map. Again, this is very off by the wayside, very difficult, very unlikely to scout. It is going to be a double gas opener here from Oliveira, working towards a factory, and the Cyber Core has yet to complete. Waiting a couple seconds more here. Once it does complete, we can throw down the eventual, I imagine, Stargate. There's potential for like proxy Twilight Council, but there it is. Stargate is on the way. So it is going to be a Stargate opener here from Creator. And this should be for Oracles. Should be to just amass Oracles, get into the mineral lines, get some economic damage done. We have seen a resurgence of proxy Void Ray, but this is not the... Oh wait, we're going for the gold! Oh my god! He says, wait, who wants the hybrid base when you can just take a full-on gold instead? Creator, he's popping off here. Okay, spicing things up in game number 1, going for the proxy into the gold. Oliveira checking his vision. He has not scouted anything yet, as Oliveira is skipping his SCV scout and he's going Marine first. Uh-oh. And we're going for a 1 base all-in. This is a 1-1-1. This is wild. Okay. So we have Creator going for a proxy to harass and deal some economic damage and being greedy behind it. Meanwhile, Oliveira is going for a 1 base all-in. And Creator doesn't know. Oliveira also doesn't know. No one knows what's going to happen. Okay. So a couple of things. We do have a massive amount of Marines, but we could try to actually focus down these Marines ahead of time, especially because they're softened up. We could try to focus them all down and then go for the mineral line. And without Marines, we're not going to have much for this all-in to really buffer for it, to really sustain it. Oracle dips around. Yet to confirm. Okay, we did at least see the lack of third. Okay, we're looking for the expansion. We confirm, sorry, the lack of natural base. Creator dips in, gets some SCV depth, gets some SCV kills. Marines coming back. Ooh, and we're getting a lot done. 4 SCVs go down, we get a 5th. Ooh, and barely not a 6th as we run out of energy. 5 SCV goes down, but Creator, he's now aware. He's now aware of the all-in. He's getting ready. But how can we get ready? This is our army. We have 1 gate. Uh-oh. We have 1 gateway back at home. We have 1 sentry, 1 oracle. We have 1 shield battery on the way. 2nd oracle, I guess, is coming in to help support, but Creator has nothing. And here comes Oliveira sieging up outside of the gold, or just at the gold. Shield battery is going to go down. We are desperately warping in as additional gateways are finishing up. But these tank volleys are brutal. Yeah, we have the force field at least, but it's not going to be enough. The Marines are holding their own. They focus down one of the oracles, and there's just nothing else here. There's nothing left. The risk you take when taking and rushing into the gold. I mean, would you really expect a 1 base all-in? It's Oliveira. He pulled off the 1 base all-in against Classic, and he's doing it here against the Creator. We have 1 Void Ray. We do focus down a Cyclone at least. But the Void Rays have been cleaned up. GG gets called, and Oliveira takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, Oliveira, he didn't even know that it was against a gold. Like, as a reminder, winding it back, because it was a one-base all-in, Oliveira didn't go for an SCV scout. There was no Reaper scout. He had no idea what he was walking into. He's like, oh, okay, you have a gold. Let me just kill you. Let me just deal with this. GG, well played. A very chaotic game, and in the end, that was more of a build order win from Oliveira. I do think there was a chance if maybe Creator was more proactive, and with that first Oracle, if he dove on the Marines when they were on a lower Marine count, then maybe we could have shaved them off and lessened the army, and it would have lessened the impact of the push. But that's a big if. Like, it's just a really, really weird game state, and you don't often end up in that situation at all. So GG, well played. Oliveira does take the first game. We're diving into game number 2. I'm ready. I'm ready for the nonsense. I feel like we've set the tone. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Club NV. It is Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing CranKy Z Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Oliveira. Now, it was a wild one-base all-in that we saw in game 1. I don't expect this again unless we end up on Ghost River, and even then, when you whip out a build like that, you typically don't want to do it again in the series. You know, your opponent is going to be a lot more aware that you're capable of doing such a thing, and Creator is going to be a lot more diligent when it comes to his scouting, I'm sure, as well. So, a wild way to start the series, but now we're going to be calming things down at least a little bit here on Golden Aura. Catching up in the chat. Lad is from Texas. Cyril's neighbor. True, true. We're all from Texas. I'll be at Dallas. Kappa. New founders land from kind of have a super different accent and a way of speaking, and I play with a couple and a Discord with my wife gets mad because the longer I play, the more I start speaking like them. Oh, that's true as well, right? Like when you're young, depending on who you spend time with, like that can also affect your accent. Like I spent a lot of time online, so maybe that influenced me a little bit as well. True, true. Oh, we are settling in. For now, it's going to be a double gas opener. Technically, this could lead into another one base all-in, but this should just be a racks into factory into command center. This should be a more standard game and build here from Oliveira. Now, with a faster factory, this could be Reaper Hellion. This could be for a fast Widowmine into drop play. This could be for a fast tank as well, for a tank drop. We have options. But first, we're opening up Reaper. So Oliveira coming in with his scouts. Back at home, we have our tech of choice. Creator going for a Twilight Council, not a Stargate or a Robo. It'll be a Twilight Council opener. Back at home, working towards Blink, and the Reaper's goal here is to get eyes on said tech. Figure out what Creator is up to. But now the Reaper's going to be zoned away. And Creator does keep that Twilight Council hidden for now. It's going to be hidden. Back at home, we have the CC on the low ground. We're getting into our 1-1-1, and we can see that it's not going to be Reaper Hellion. It's going to be into Marine Widowmine, I imagine, for a fast medevac for some drop play. Widowmine is in position here on the low ground. Cyclone in production as well. We've seen this build plenty of times here from Oliveira. Did it earlier against Nightmare. To be a little bit more active early on with drops. There's that medevac. Meanwhile, Creator, how many gateways do we work with? 2-gate blink, 3-gate blink, or even 4-gate blink? For now, oh, we have a 3rd gateway. Okay. 3-gate blink it is. So a much more defensive opener from Creator, which makes sense, especially after game 1. I mean, Creator, he's down in this series, so a much more defensive setup here with the Robo on the way as well. I say defensive, safer build here from Creator. It's very middle of the road. It allows you to have more stalkers. It allows you to just have a safer route to expand and take a third base. Cyclone is spotted. Medevac as well. Creator, he sees everything. He's aware of the army. He's getting ready back at home. Depths are getting in position. We have a stalker in the main base just in case the drop gets in. Oliveira does bring everything together. Again, he understands he's been spotted. He respects Creator. He backs up. As the Marine goes down. Both players, they kind of bounce off each other, and now we're entering a later game. Let's go. We're entering the mid game here as Creator is working on his third base. Meanwhile, so is Oliveira. Third TC is on the way. So again, because Oliveira got scouted, he respected Creator enough to be aware that he would be ready in time. So he pulls back, only bleeds out one Marine. It's a very mature decision there from Oliveira. And now it's going to be on Creator to move out. He has his Warp Prism, I believe, on the way. No, never mind. I assumed we would be making a Warp Prism and pushing out, but no, we have the Bay on the way instead, working towards faster Colossus. So basically what's happening here is that despite opening up 3-gate blink, we are skipping warp-ins. We're skipping warp-ins, we are staying on a low gateway count, sorry, a low stalker count, and spending money on the third base, on tech, on the Bay, on Colossus. Heading towards the mid-game instead. Do snipe the Observer. What did Creator see in the main? Not much. Unaware of how greedy Oliveira is being. How economic he is. First Colossus is on the way. You can see we're warping in Zealots, not Blink Stalkers. Let's start spending our gas elsewhere. Forge is in production. And Creator, he's just containing his opponent. He's looking to contain, catch any drop play, spot any move outs. Because he lost the Observer, he doesn't know that there's already a third CC. Doesn't know that Oliveira is not going for a 2-base all-in, which is still on the table, especially after game 1. The Creator has to be careful. As the Colossus count is rising, Forge is finishing up, additional gateways are on the way. Still staying on a lower Stalker count, but again, just trying to keep tabs on Oliveira. And he should soon be expanding. He's on his 5-rack setup. Should soon have enough to break free. There are some players that wait for Stim. Like, Stim is halfway done, so we might just wait for that. But, yeah, the tanks are moving out. And we're taking our third. And Creator will confirm this. Trying to threaten the army. Gets a Cyclone. Gets a Cyclone for a Stalker. As Creator has to back off. Third base is being taken. Creator needs to confirm this. As looks like he has, and we're going for a 4th. Ooh, okay. We're calming things down a little bit. 4th base is on the way. We have our Colossus. How many do we have? We are up to 2 Colossus so far. Scan does confirm Colossus production with the Bay. And the Creator, he can definitely apply some pressure here. We have an Adept at the natural. We drag Oliveira out of position. We do distract him for a moment. We catch a Mule. Threaten the Raven. And the Colossus have arrived. Very nice force fields. We catch out some Marines. We catch a Marauder. And we deny the third. The tank a little bit too far back. Oh, we have to respect the tank line though. We have to calm down. But denying the third is all we need to do. As we have a 4th on the way. Cross the map mine drop here towards that natural. Or towards the 3rd even. So far only getting 1 probe. Let's get another Widow Mine in the natural base. Oh my god! As we pull away, but less than ideal, 9 probes go down. Suddenly, Oliveira. Not looking too bad. I apologize for not pulling back to this. I just assumed that Creator would be ready for it. 9 workers do full. Oliveira now retaking his 3rd. Going for another mine drop here towards the main. I mean, these mine drops are really weird moments here. Like, we're in the mid game. Typically, mine drops would be done by now. It is catching Creator off guard, but we have a tank. Sorry, we have a cannon in position. And by Burrows, we can focus it down. With a mine towards the fourth. Oh. But last the mine shot won't go off. Ooh, so much cleaner defense here from Creator. Again, after the first mine drop, he's a lot more prepared for this. A lot more aware. We'll shut it down. Oliveira building up his Viking counts, going Marine, Marauder, Ghost, Viking. Pretty hefty army here, pretty comparable to the size of Creators. This Creator is still stabilizing on his 4-base setup and looking to max out with charge lots. I was curious if Creator was going to be incorporating some disruptors and maybe a second bay, or sorry, a second robo. The answer is no. Just 3 Colossus and just mass gateways. And Creator is pushing. His move out was spotted. Oliveira getting in position. Tanks are resieging. Scan does confirm. Now we are lacking a bit of SimCity here. How many tanks? Massive anti-armor missile does connect with the army. First tank goes down. And you can see here Oliveira not quite in position to defend his third. He's caught in between his bases. The tanks are rotating over. Rocks get knocked down. We're going for the third base. And the anti-armor missile has run out. We still have to respect the tanks. We have to back off. We can't fully commit. The Creator is doubling down, rotating around once again towards the third base. Oliveira trying to keep up. Bringing his tank forward. Good EMPs on the army. We flank of the Gateway army. Zeltson said they hit the fourth. Reinforcements are in position. And as Creator is dancing with the army of Oliveira, we have a second robo on the way. We have disruptors, Forge, second Forge, and a Dark Shrine. So Creator is taking and expanding. What I will say though is that this tech and this expansion is a little bit delayed. It is delayed for Creator. It does seem like he intended to end the game then and there, which is why these disruptors are later than we would like. The Forge and the 5th base are later as well. So I prefer Oliveira's position overall. Yes, Creator is transitioning, but Oliveira, he's maxed out, he's on 4 bases, and he has a much more ideal army. And Creator has not been able to break that third, not yet. Avoid the mine shots. Army pushing forward. No liberations, or no liberation zones yet, no liberators yet. We have +1 ship weapons on the way. We're getting there. And Oliveira is moving out. Blink is on cooldown. And we catch the Stalkers. Very nice catcher from Oliveira. Big chunk of Stalkers go down. Back at home, Oliveira scans, sees the 5th. Making his way over. We'll see if the Vikings can catch out the Colossus. Disruptors should be on the way. Where exactly are they? Okay, they're coming in from behind. They're reinforcing from the natural. And we're out of position. The base goes down. Nexus does fall. Purification Novas are going to be revealing themselves. Disruptors are revealed, and the Vikings, they go ham. They shut down the first Colossus and a second. And we're going for the chase. We have momentum. We're going for the kill. We're down to 0 Colossus. The Purification Novas were lackluster. At the same time, we go for a big warp into the main base. SCVs are going down. And Oliveira, he's turning back around. He's racing back home. He killed the 5th and the 3rd. Oh. And was it enough? As Oliveira is losing a lot of SCVs. That's 23 workers falling. Oliveira still turning back. At the same time, Creator pushing out towards that 3rd base. Prism is being cleaned up. The Zelt is still going ham. And is Oliveira ready for this? There's not much here, actually. It's mainly disruptors, but here we go. The Stalkers have arrived. As the Zelts, they got 38 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Creator double expanding. Getting it back up 4th and a 5th base, going for the gold. Creator is in trouble. Oh. Like, he has to be active here. If he ever backs off, then he's going to lose these bases, 100%. Creator needs to keep Oliveira busy. He needs to keep him back at home. As the bases are getting up and running, we have Blink on the way for the DTs. Colossus production getting back up and running. Oliveira getting his own 5th. And here come those Liberators. We're even investing into nukes. Okay. Now, at least Creator was able to preserve his workers. He did save most of his probes earlier. Nuke is done. Ghosts are moving out. I imagine for the nukes. Oh! And we do catch one of them. Ghost is sniped. Liberators have arrived at the 4th and the 3rd. And probes are going down. The army scrambling back home. Oliveira looking for the 5th. Doesn't find one. Nuke at the gold. Let's go. Because being thrown down is spotted by Creator. He pulls away. You're not getting too much. The ghost does slip in. Doesn't get much done, thankfully. Okay, both players, they back off from each other. The game is calming down. Ghost is cleaned up. And we have another nuke on the way. More starports. Again, for more Liberators, eventually. Disruptor's coming in. Nova goes up. Oh no! Raises the army, gets a couple of Marauders. Nice splits there from Oliveira. He comes in from behind. Storm connects with mainly Vikings. We get some decent Novas, but the Concave is better for the Terran. We collapse on the army. No more Novas. No more Disruptors. As they're being targeted down, and Creator, he gets caught out, and he's going to lose every single unit, every single Colossus and Disruptor. Oliveira, he doesn't take a single one to the face, breaks through, and there's nothing left. We have a handful of Stalkers. We have an overcharge. What are we really protecting here? Nothing. Colossus comes out, but GG gets called, and Oliveira takes a 2-0 lead. One game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. GG. Bobby. Has Oliveira ever won a KSL? I'll definitely check after this. But yeah, to be up 2-0 against Creator, very impressive stuff here. GG, well played. Again, Creator was in a really rough position after he lost 2 bases, after he lost all of his Colossus. It was basically after the first big move out from Oliveira, where sure, Creator, he was able to kill some SCVs across the map. That's true. He killed a lot of workers, a lot of SCVs, but he wasn't really able to touch the main army. That's what I was mainly concerned about. And Creator, who's being quite greedy, he was throwing down more bases, double expanding, trying to build back up, but didn't quite get there in the end. And GG, Oliveira. Uno más. One more is all he needs. And we'll see if he can get it, as our next game is going to be on Oceanborn. Let's go. Does Oliveira live in China? Yes, he does. So he's only playing on the Korean server? Yes, that is true. As the Chinese server is no longer a thing, so all the Chinese players are playing on Korea. Yes, he used to go by time. But spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Protoss. Our South Korean Protoss player representing Club Envy, down 2-0 in this series. He needs to fight back here and now to have a chance at forcing the ace match. He needs your help. He needs your support in the chat. It is Creator. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player from the land of China representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Oliveira. I didn't know it was canned. Yes, the Chinese server did go down as we're going for a proxy across the map. Okay, Oliveira, you have my attention. For those that are curious, because of disputes between NetEase and Blizzard, this happened like a year ago. This happened a long time ago, actually, like a year and a half ago at this point. But basically, NetEase, they're a company that was basically hosting and basically allowing Blizzard games to actually have service in China. They did not come to an agreement, and because of that, their kind of a contract fell through. As a result, the Chinese servers went down, not just for StarCraft, but also for all their games. Diablo, World of Warcraft, all Blizzard games went down in China. But what I will say is that it was like a month or two ago where they came to an agreement. They basically made a deal. I don't think we know like the details of it. But Blizzard and NetEase, they have come into another kind of partnership, and the servers should be coming back soon. TM. I think this was like a month or two ago, but it was announced that Blizzard games are coming back to China soon. TM. But it's been like we did spend like a year or more without the Chinese server, which was, you know, a little bit brutal. Basically, all the Chinese players had to play on the Korean server instead. Yeah, the deal fell through, but it should be coming back. Or it is back, I should say. They have renegotiated the deal. As it is going to be Proxy Marauder from Oliveira. Okay, interesting. So this is going to be a one-base all-in. It's going to be another one-base all-in setup here as Oliveira is going for the factory and the starport back at home. Hyper-aggressive build. Meanwhile, Creator, what have we seen? We have confirmed the double gases. We haven't seen much else. Probe is coming in for another scout. To try to get a read on what's going on. Probe dips in. Does get eyes on not much, actually. We throw down the pylon, but we weren't going to expand anyway. Pylon is thrown down. Marauders are building up back at home. I imagine we're going to be pulling the boys with this. I imagine we should be pulling the boys with this push. As we confirm the starport. The Creator, he has a better idea what's going on. Third gateway's on the way. Sorry, second gateway's on the way. Stalker's breaking through. We're in a bit of trouble, actually. Without Marauders back at home, we can't really do anything. And we're moving out across the map. We do depower the first gateway. Marauders are revealed. But Hellions, they tickle Stalkers. Focusing down Hellions, they are going to be forced to recall back home. The boys add a little bit too much damage there. The Stalkers have returned. And there's no more gateways. Here, another gateway's just now repowering. 2 Stalkers left. 1 Stalker left. Warp Gate is not done. But the boys are being pulled. The surround is real. The Marauders are getting low. We're down to 2. Up. Oh, we get the final Stalker. But the Marauders are barely alive. One Marauder goes down. And so will the last. Yeah, the Marauders are cleaned up. A Creator, he will defend. At the same time, the Hellions, they bust into the main. They make it from across the map, but the gateways, they're back up and running. Warp Gate is done. We have Stalkers. We have an army. The Creator, he's defending. He is shutting this down. We're down to a single Marauder. And we're on 2 bases. Meanwhile, across the map, the pylon is still up. There is no expansion. There is no follow-up. Oliveira just now throwing down a CC in his main, but this is such a late expansion from our Terran player. Now we're going for the medevac. Medevac goes down. There's no more sustain. And we're cleaning this up. And GG gets called. There's nothing left here for Oliveira. Creator, he fights back, putting a point on the board. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG. Well played. Creator, he does end up putting a point on the board here. Oliveira trying to be cheeky with the one base all-in, and it did kind of fall in its face. Creator, he had no idea what was going on. He didn't really confirm the all-in, but because of his Stalker aggression across the map, he was able to figure things out, able to force a big reaction, delayed any Hellion reinforcements that would have helped so much with those Marauders, and GG in the end. Creator barely did hold. It was close though. It was quite close in the main base. And now the series continues. We're getting into game 4. Let us go. An ordinary man does it again. Crazy. Oh, hello, Milk. Hello in the chat. Este lechito. Get some sleep. Oh my god, it's so late. here we go. We're getting into our next game and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone, putting a point on the board, fighting back here in these grand finals. Can we force the ace match representing Club NV? It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Oliveira. Here we go. So we are settling in. Whew. And hoping to bring it back. Oh, that's a dated thing to say. See in the chat, on SC2 Unmasked, 90 was at 6.5. If you were familiar with the scene, you would know that SC2 Unmasked is not a thing anymore. It closed down like 2 years ago. SC2 Unmasked has not been a thing for a long time. Smudge, feels bad, man. It was I say 2 years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a long time. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Was a very useful site back in the day. You see Creator going for the Gate Cyber Expand, standard opener from our red Protoss. Oliveira back at home going double gas into a faster factory. Now we have seen a couple of different one base all-ins so far from Oliveira, but we should be calming things down here in Game 4. Technically we could throw down a starport after this, but we should be seeing a CC. We should be seeing an expand. Go. So we do see Oliveira take his expansion and going for his CC on the low ground, and we're entering a bit of a longer game. We had a chaotic game 4, sorry, a chaotic game 3, but now we're calming things down here in game 4. Reaper dips in, we get eyes on the Twilight Council. It's going to be a blink-based opener. Going to be blink. To pivot away. And Oliveira at least is aware of what's going on. Behind this, setting up his own drop play. Once again, it looks like Widowmine into Reactor Marine, into a Cyclone, into his medevac drop. We saw this same build, I believe it was in Game 2? Game 1 or Game 2? Game 2, yeah. This does seem to be Oliveira's go-to build off of a double gas opener. We very rarely see Oliveira go Reaper Hellion. We saw that from Gumiho. Yeah, I've not seen that from Oliveira yet. So it does seem to be his go-to build. As a Creator is setting up his additional gateways. I was curious if it was going to be a 2-gate blink opener, but especially because of how aggressive Oliveira has been, it's going to be 3-gate blink. 3 gateways here for our Protoss. It will delay the expansion, it will delay the third base in favor of additional Stalkers to be able to survive against early game aggression. So a safer start here from Creator. You can turn this into a more offensive build if we go for a Warp Prism. If we go for the Robo into a Warp Prism, we can harass across the map. And we'll see how Creator does approach this. As the army is spotted, and we're making our way towards that pylon, and it's a bit of an Artosis pylon. We are going for it. Widowmine is in position. We zone away the ground army. We're going for the pylon, and it's going to be going down. We barely denied one of the warpins as well. And Blink is delayed. And we can keep going. We go for the pylon. We dive into the main base. Cyclone is left behind and will be shut down. But the drop will focus down the second pylon as well. Oof. Once again, depowering everything, busting into the main base. Probes are going down as well. This is getting out of hand. Stalker's coming back in. 5, 6, 7 probes go down. Ay, ay, ay. And this will eventually be cleaned up, but this has done more than enough damage. Delaying upgrades and depowering the gateways would have been good enough. We get 7 probes on top of that. And behind this, Oliveira, we have the 1-2 punch. We're working towards Cloak Banshees. And a third CC. Okay, so we're being quite greedy here. Cloak Banshees can do a lot of harassing damage, but we're cutting some corners. Rushing to that third CC. And here comes Creator with his Warp Prism. We spoke about this. This defensive opener can turn into a more offensive one. With that Warp Prism, we're moving out. Could be reinforcing. And the pressure is on Creator to do some counter damage. Now, what can we pick off? There's a tank covering the main. Oh, we're looking pretty safe and sound. There's a bunker and a tank on the low ground. We can delay the third, for sure. We should be able to delay the third base, depending on when we come in. We can force these Marines out of range of the tanks. But that third CC, it is about to finish. A drop comes back in. Getting 5 more probes. Ay, ay, ay. CC does complete. Banshees, they arrive across the map. Probes are going down. 7 workers in total. Stalkers, they do bust into the mineral line. They're getting some SCV kills. And the shield batteries are helping. That's going to be 9 more dead workers. Oh my god. And the Banshees are still active. They're still getting more done. Finally, they're cleaned up. When I say one of them gets cleaned up, as we get 12 kills. Oh my god. Oliveira, calm down. And Creator, he has to make some magic happen here with these Stalkers. Somehow, some way, he got in, he got 6 SCV kills. I mean, that was something, but we need something more. We do need something more. As Creator's moving out across the map, he's down to 46 workers. Oliveira's taking his third base, just getting further ahead in the economy. And how many Stalkers are we working with? 10. I mean, if Oliveira spreads himself thin, if we expose some of these tanks as we take the third, then maybe. No detection. Stalkers are forced back. Observer does come in. Tanks are getting in position. You see Creator getting ready from behind as well. He could potentially pick off 1 tank and deny mining here, based on the setup. As back at home, we're working towards Storm. Storm is halfway done. Immortals are on the way. Creator sustaining his worker count. Right now, even though the worker counts are similar, Oliveira does have the economic lead. Creator should be up in bases, and we're even. So Oliveira is in a better position. So he's working towards his upgrades. The army does hit the natural instead. Tank's not quite in position. And we get a couple of SCVs where we bleed out some Stalkers. Oof. That was not the best trade. Edepse shaded in, but didn't get much done either. 2 SCVs went down. Skin reveals the third. And our Hail Mary play here are going to be those Storms. Storm is done. We do land a Storm on the army. 2 Storms even. Not bad. Marines went down. We forced a recall. We catch some of the Stalkers. Oh, only 2 Stalkers escape. Brutal recall. Again, the Storms weren't bad, but we needed more. As Oliveira now up in supply is moving out. Disruptors are on the way. This makes sense. Usually it would be risky to go Disruptor first, but considering how far behind we are, like, we need Novas. Like, they are one of the ways that you can come back in this matchup. Nova goes up. Get some order. Another Disruptor on the way. Yeah, we deny the 4th base. Oliveira going for the kill. The Storm doesn't connect. We do keep... Oh, now the Storm is forced out. Less than ideal. The boys are being pulled. We have 2 Disruptors. These Novas, we need to make them count. Up! Good connection. That's a good start, if only we didn't lose 12 workers. 12 workers went down. Oliveira, he backs the hell up. And I feel like Oliveira could have maybe pressed the issue here. He's respecting Creator quite a bit after that Nova. Does pull back. Getting a fourth. Okay, Creator survives. He survives. Oliveira's still ahead. Oliveira, he's getting a fourth as Creator's just now starting his. Oliveira's up in Workers plus Mules. We have Ghosts. No Vikings, but we don't need them as we're mainly worried about Disruptors. And again, Creator, he's relying on his spellcaster usage. Purification Novas, Storms, that's all he has here to keep himself alive in these games. Let's see if he can. Oliveira getting into Viking production as well. I don't really need them, but in case we have Colossus, I mean, they will help. True. Couple Vikings on the way. Fourth base getting up. How many Disruptors are we on? We're on 4, soon to be 5 Disruptors. If Oliveira was aware of the lack of Colossus, I would love to see a Fusion Core and a rush towards Liberators. Like, that would be amazing. Now just focusing on a Bio Ghost heavy composition, which can still do well. Dark Shrine's on the way. We scan the army. We spot it. Pushing in. Good EMP. Creator has to be so careful with these Novas. Does connect with the tank. Doesn't bring it down. We have 1 Nova left. Rotating over. Storm. Ooh. Don't get the Storm. We do get feedbacks. Feedbacks on 2 Ghosts. And we're pushing in. Oh. Grazing the army. Shaving off some Marines. High Templar goes down. And the Vikings, they bring down the Prism. Storms are still not bad. Zoning away the army. Barely holding on, but we're running out of Storms. Ooh, we connect on the Ghosts. Ghosts are going down. We don't quite connect with the Marauders. But with all these Stalker reinforcements, it looks like Creator, he's holding on, and Creator, he takes a supply lead. Oh my god. Does hold on, going for a big counterattack here towards the south. Oliveira does not see this. And Oliveira, he does scan, spots the army. Picks up, going for a drop across the map. Instead we're going for the third base, and there's not much in position. There's not much here. We blink in. We take control of the third. Tank's a little bit too far back. The drops across the map. They're getting damage done. The Creator looks like he's pretty all in. He is committed. Get some decent Storms. Novas, they take down the tanks. Tanks are going down, and Creator, he can break through this. He can keep pushing. Yeah, the main army of Oliveira is falling across the map. He's killing probes. He's getting damage done, but it doesn't matter. We're going for the kill. We have a nuke. We're going for the defensive nuke, but we have detection. The Ghost goes down. And Creator, he's breaking through. And again, this army across the map, it's not really doing much. I mean, sure, it's killing bases. But we're going for the kill. We're going for the main. We have some good EMPs. But again, there's no Vikings, no tanks. Only the 2 Widow Mines, they get shut down. And we're busting into the main. Oliveira, he's racing back home. But it's too little too late. We're camping the production. Oliveira, sure, he has some bases. He's pulling the boys. Oh my god. Pulling everything he has. But we have the high ground. We have a brutal choke point. The boys, they can't push up this. Nova goes up. Yeah, there's no pushing up this ramp. It's not going to happen. We have a decent concave. We're going for the Disruptors. Disruptors are falling one after the other. This isn't a bad fight, but GG gets cold as Oliveira. He runs out of units, runs out of supply, and Creator forces the ace match. GG. Oh my god. Papi. Creator. It was over. Like, he was in a rough position that game. He was down in bases. He was being pulled apart. He was losing so many probes and so many bases, and eventually he was able to claw his way back in with Storms, with Novas, with Disruptors. Again, we saw Oliveira maybe be a little bit too over-eager, especially with that final push towards the north. But he did take some rough trades there. And GG. GG, we're going all the way to Game 5. The ace match map. Let's go. Oh my god. And it's happening on Ghost River. Of all maps. Do we one base all in again? Is it happening? Let's go. Let us go. Regardless, it all ends here. It all ends on Ghost River, the final game of the night. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Club NV, somehow clawing his way back into it. He was straight up dead in that last game. He did come back from the brink of defeat, forcing the ace match, representing Club NV, Creator. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Chinese Terran, the blue Terran player representing CranKy Z Gaming, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Oliveira. And the last time we saw Oliveira on this map, we did see a one-base all-in. It was against Nightmare. But I imagine he's not going to risk it in the ace match, right? Maybe. I mean, possibly. We'll find out. Let's go. I imagine it's going to be a double gas opener from Oliveira. I'm imagining a blink-based opener out of Creator. Again, just because of how small the map is, it's risky to cut corners and be too greedy. We'll see. Probe is moving out across the map. Oliveira is going for a Rax Expand. Okay, economic opener out of Oliveira. Very interesting. Creator will come in, we'll confirm this. I wonder how Creator will respond. I wonder how he will respond. Does get eyes on the racks. Heading down to low ground and delaying the expansion for as long as he can. We'll delay that CC. You can see the CC being built here on the high ground instead, further back into the main. And the probe is going to be zoned away. Creator has no confirmation. So for all Creator knows, it could be a double gas opener into a faster factory. Creator is in the dark. Back at home, standard opener. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. Again, it makes sense, especially if we're going for a more economic build here, to go for the CC on the high ground. Not just to hide it, but to keep it safe against early game aggression. Factory is on the way. And oh my, it's going to be a Stargate opener from Creator. Okay, bold move. Very bold move. If Oliveira was going for something a little bit more aggressive himself, then Creator would have a hard time defending. But based on the more economic opener here, we're okay. We're good. Probe is scouting the right-hand side. We're looking for a proxy Rax or a proxy factory. Proxy starports. Confirm that nothing's there. Adept does dip in. And the Adepts won't quite dive in. We confirm the Marines at least. Oh! We commit to the shade. The Adept does get eyes on the CC. Does go down, but at least Creator knows that he's safe and sound. So he does confirm. Get into his second gateway. And this could be the beginning of Phoenix Colossus, something that we haven't seen at all this series, but is very meta. Hellion dips in. They're going to get a full scout. Very nicely done here by Oliveira. Confirms not just the Stargate, confirms the Phoenix production. Back at home, he cancels. I don't know if you saw that. He had Cloak and Banshees on the way, but upon seeing and confirming the Phoenixes, he cancels, going for a Viking. It's a very good reaction. The likelihood of the Banshees doing damage was quite low, especially against a Stargate opener. So Oliveira does respond. Matrix on the way. And the game does settle from here. Interestingly enough, we are making a handful of tanks, but we shouldn't make too many. Especially against a Stargate opener. We'll see. Oh, this is interesting. Going into very early reactor to Viking production. Okay. And we are continuing tanks. This looks like a committed 2-base push. We'll see if we throw down a third CC anytime soon, but with these early tanks and early Vikings, this is going to hit like a truck. And Creator has yet to confirm. We do dip in, we get eyes on the Vikings, big scouts. We also get eyes on the tech lab, on the researching racks. So we're aware that Stim is on the way, we're aware of the Vikings, the tank production as well. We see everything, we're getting ready back at home. Immortals. Immortals are going to be so important here in the defense. They're going to be paramount for Creator. Here comes the push. We don't pull the boys with this. Moving out with the Vikings, 2 tanks, Marines. Phoenix does confirm. And Oliveira does push back, or does pull back, when he spots the army. Does respect it. Phoenix, they head into the main. SCVs are going to be going down. Ooh, we're exposed. We are left exposed. Their base is on the way. Vikings, they race back. And we're expanding. It feels like Oliveira, he has so many stages where like he can commit and just send it, and at every turn we see the Creator, he's able to keep up, able to get eyes on it. So Oliveira, he pivots away, doesn't throw away his tanks, doesn't throw away his Vikings, is expanding, working towards the mid game. It's very fluid play here from Oliveira. I like it. But this does mean that Creator now has map control. Moving out, taking his third base. Creator, he can be greedy behind this, taking up into +1, blink. And the goal here for Creator should be to deny the third for as long as he can. I'm not so sure we can break the natural, not with this tank line. We have 2 tanks on the low ground with the bunker, with Marines. Now Widow Mines. As the Phoenixes do catch an SCV at a Widow Mine. Not bad. The Vikings do respond. Ooh, Mine Shot does go off on that Phoenix. Oliveira is now expanding, but as he expands, Creator has eyes on this. And the goal here is to catch out the tanks, to catch out the army. And now we reveal ourselves, the tanks! We catch them. Nice force field here from Creator. Catches the first tank, gets a good amount of workers, good amount of the army. And now he's going for the CC. Again, Oliveira, he just didn't know that Creator was lying in wait. The base should survive. That was a very nice catch from Creator. Please up the Phoenix. Within range of the add-ons. Ooh, reactor goes down. And Oliveira is contained. As he's contained, Creator, he takes a 4th. I mean, the Terran is still in 2 bases, and we're going for a 4th instead. We have Blink. We dive into the main base. We're going for Drilling Claws. Drilling Claws is denied. Oh, but we're going to be punished for it, though. A lot of Stalkers go down. That was 4 Stalkers. But, I mean, we denied the 3rd. We got a tank. Denied the upgrades. Well, still worth it for Creator. Gets an extra Viking as well. As he's pulling back home. Just being active with these Stalkers. Oh, gets a Marauder. Backs the hell off. We have Storm on the way. Charge, 1-1. More Immortal production. Like, Creator, he's looking quite comfortable. And Oliveira, I don't see him pushing anytime soon. He just doesn't have the supply for it. Oliveira is just going to be stuck at home. Licking his wounds. And Creator, he can get away with quite a lot. Building up Immortals, Charge, Storm. All of our upgrades. We shouldn't be rushing into like Sky Toss or anything like that. Like, that would be a little bit too ambitious, but for the most part, Creator is going to be the first to max out. Oliveira does have a much stronger defensive line this time at the 3rd. With his tanks, with his Ghost, with his EMPs, but oh boy, this is still a terrifying army from Creator. What do we have? 14 Zealots. We have Storm, just now finishing. How many High Templar? 3 High Templar, each with 1. We're getting ready to collapse from multiple angles. This is it. Can Oliveira survive this? No bunkers either, which is a little bit concerning. Stalkers drag out the army. Zell's pushing forward. And the army is spotted. Now Oliveira knows. But doesn't matter. And we're going for the tanks. Big storm on the army. We're trying to come in from behind as well. Not too many zealots. We break through the tank line. There's one tank left. Boys are being pulled. The storms. Storms are looking pretty good. And Creator, he just snowballs out of control. He crushes the main army. GG gets called, and Creator will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's KSL champion. GG. GG, well played. The reverse sweep. Oliveira was up 2-0. Oliveira, he was up 2-0 in this series, and Creator, he brings it back 3 games in a row. Very impressive stuff there. GG, well played. Congratulations to Creator. Oliveira, he did spice things up a little bit too much. You remember game 4, it was a one-way solo that fell on its face. Sorry, that was in game 3. Game 4 and game 5, we saw Creator come back from the brink. Alcyone was crazy. There's a world out there where Oliveira, he wins this series. Like, that game on Alcyone was wild, as Creator was so far behind. He had taken so much damage. But the disruptor, the purification of, as they popped off Papi, he was able to survive that, able to bounce back, and bounce back here as well. GG, well played. Very well done here by Creator. Congratulations. My condolences to Oliveira, but he did very well for himself. Did very well for himself, all things considered, to make it all the way to the finals. Let's quickly have a look at the bracket, actually. I haven't been able to have a look at it, to be honest. Have avoided those spoilers, but here we go. Bam. From the top here, we had, just to wrap things up, we had Nightmare taking down Dark. That was a wild start to the broadcast, with Nightmare causing that first upset. Very, very chaotic series there. We had Oliveira bringing down Classic. Oliveira took down Nightmare. Oliveira, off of the back of his TVP, almost took down Creator as well. So very impressive stuff here by Oliveira. Classic, Nightmare, and Creator are no easy players. I mentioned before that Hero wasn't here. Hero did not compete and did not partake this week. Hero is typically our KSL champion. Wasn't here this time. Likewise, neither was Bjorn or Cure, our typical Terran contenders. But the Zergs were here. Like, Dark and Solar were here, and Dark and Solar did not make it to the semis. We had Creator popping off. He did not have an easy run either. Creator, he took down Solar, took down Cyan, Gumiho, and of course Oliveira in those finals. Very impressive stuff here by Creator. GG, well played. It was a great turnout, great event here for the KSL. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. We were just catching up, and we do now get a better idea, a better read on the state of these players coming into DreamHack. DreamHack Dallas is in a couple of days, and a lot of players are traveling. That's why Bjorn wasn't here, for example. Bjorn is in Canada at the moment. He's staying at the Shopify HQ. We've seen some behind the scene photos, and we've seen him on cams, on the webcams in WTL, you know, with Harstem. He's there with Scarlet, he's there with Lambo. They're all in Canada at the moment, boot camping and acclimating to the NA time zone, getting ready for DreamHack Dallas. They're all going to be rocking up at DreamHack Dallas. Likewise, a lot of these players here are going to be traveling as well. They will be traveling. So, yeah, it is something to look forward to, definitely. Let me quickly just have a look at that bracket as well. Catching up. The curse of being a normal mortal man. True, true. Just a normal man, papi. GG. GG. But I was really curious, because I haven't really delved into it too much when it comes to the open bracket of DreamHack Dallas. For those that are maybe unfamiliar or unaware, there is an open stage to DreamHack Dallas, and we are going to be casting that open stage here on the CranKy Ducklings. I believe we're only going to be casting day 1 of, I think DreamHack is a 3-day event, and I think we're only going to be casting day 1. We're going to be casting the open stage, and we're going to be casting the knockout bracket as well. We won't be casting like the winner stage or the finals or the playoffs or anything like that. The mainstream have that covered. We are going to be a side stream for DreamHack, and I'm going to have to adjust my sleep schedule. I'm going to Hold on. Let me just double check here. What time does DreamHack start? 1 a.m. 1 a.m. here in Australia is when DreamHack starts, so that's when we're going to be live here on the channel in 2 days time. So it's going to be an amazing event, I'm sure. But this is the open stage. It was revealed a couple of days ago, and I'm really curious who is here. Okay, so we have Gumiho versus Marsbar. Marsbar's traveling. That's interesting to me. He's a UK player. But Gumiho's here in bracket A. Ryung and Future in the first round. Let's go. That's going to be a spicy TvT. We have Creator versus Epic. Again, we just casted Creator, and we know that he's looking pretty damn strong here in the PvT matchup. Even took down Solar, if you remember, in the PvZ. So Creator is definitely in form, and we'll see if he can make it through that open stage. We have Riser versus Kellizer. Diego is also traveling. Let's go. Diego is going to be there as well, competing in bracket A. A lot of Terran, a lot of Protoss here. I feel like it's going to come down to the TvTs, and of course Creator as well, so I wish them all the best of luck. Going to be an interesting one, definitely. Scrolling down, we have bracket B. We have Solar versus Rogue in a ZVZ. Oh, that is a brutal first round match. Oh my god. I was just checking. None of the Koreans face each other here, but we have the Koreans already facing off in the first round. That is unlucky. That is that is brutal. I don't envy whoever is down here in the lower bracket facing off against the loser of Solar and Rogue. Don't envy them at all. We have Shadowne versus Mana. Interesting. Both Shadowne and Mana also traveling. Do love to see it. We have Oliveira versus Mixu and Zane versus Skillus. Now, I haven't checked the schedule, but usually the way this works is that bracket A and bracket B start at the same time, and then C and D, they start a couple of hours later. So I'm not going over C and D yet. But what that means is that we have to pick and choose, because we're going to be casting on the first day. Basically, the way that we do it is we pick and choose one of these brackets, and I am torn. Personally, I like the idea of a laser versus Skillus here. I feel like that's going to be a lot of fun in that second round. And we'll follow that into, you know, most likely either Solo or Rogue. Like, shout out to Shadowne and Mana. I wish them the best of luck, but there's some heavy hitters here. And that does look like a lot of fun here in bracket B. In bracket A, there's a lot of TvT. I mean, I'm a big fan of Diego. I love Kellizer. Kellizer versus Creator, that's going to be a banger here as well. Gumiho versus either Ryung or Future. I guess it depends what I want. I wish there was more variety, right? Like, it's like, honestly, it's just Terran and Protoss up here, and then it's just Zerg and Protoss. It'd be nice if we like switched a couple of players around, you know, that'd be great. So we'll see. I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards bracket B, but yeah, it's a hard one to call. Definitely. I'll definitely think about it, which one we want to cast. Usually we just commit to one, and we'll be casting it all the way to the upper bracket finals and then the lower bracket finals as well. Meanwhile, C and D is a little bit more, I feel a little bit more clear to me. We have Bjorn. There is Bjorn versus Full Heart. Fun fact, Full Heart is no longer Zerg, he's a Protoss cannon rusher nowadays, so Bjorn versus Full Heart is going to be a lot of fun. We have Su versus DRG. Ooh, that is another brutal first round match. Oh my god. Another brutal Z. What is it with the ZVZs? Solar versus Rogue and Su versus DRG. Yo, ESL admins, what's going on? Why are you making all the Zergs kill each other, huh? What's happening? Icegar, I know you're in the chat. I know you. I saw you earlier in the chat, Papi. Cap. But yeah, so we got a lot of ZVZs going on. We have Harston versus Patty Mac. Let's go. A big, obviously, I'm a little bit biased. I'm a big fan of Patty Mac as he's an ex-CranKy Duckling. He's one of our own. Patty Mac is out of practice though, so he's been busy like casting with Raynor and spending time in China. As much as I love Patty Mac, Harston is coming in as the heavy favorites. Otherwise, I'd be very tempted to cast this. We have Disrespect versus Lambo. Lambo is here as well. Oh, the team kill. Oh, wait. I just realized. What the hell? Bjorn, Harston, and Lambo. The Shopify boys. They're all in the same bracket. What's going on? The team kill, Papi. That's brutal. Spread them out. What the? ESL. What's going on? What's happening? I mean, they just spent like a couple of weeks or a month together practicing, and now they all have to play against each other. That's so sad. How many make it from the open bracket? Top two. Top two make it from the. We have, I should say, one player from the upper half and one player from the lower half. So here. So here, there's one qualifying match up here and then one qualifying match down here. So top two. Top two from each group. So yeah, that's a little bit brutal that all the Shopify players are playing against each other. Thankfully, Scarlet has avoided this, and I believe Scarlet is down here. Yes, Scarlet has avoided her teammates, thankfully. Down here in Group D, we have Bunny versus Patches, Dolan versus Cyan, Nightmare versus Folkstar, and Holden versus Scarlet. Whew. Okay, so we have our 4 groups. So I'm catching up with the chat. Yeah, top 2. 1 is early for you. No worries. True. You gotta do Rogue versus Solo. You just gotta. I mean, it's tempting. It's tempting. I usually try to avoid mirror matchups because I know a lot of people watching aren't really too interested in mirror matchups. But it is tempting. All Zerg eliminated already. Better buff the next match. True. Bracket S, not bracket C. No Firefly, no Firefly. Not here. Link, sure, I'll give you a link. I think Firefly is in the next round, right? Or is he not traveling? Let's have a look. Scrolling up, because this is the open stage. As a reminder, this isn't all the players competing. The players that have been invited into this event because of the performances throughout the year, in the last season, they're seeded into here, the winner stage. Here, so this is where all the players that made it through the regionals, this is where they're like seated in. So you can see here, there's like Clem, Stats, Oliveira, Classic, Estrella, Hero Marine, shit, like all the big boys. They're all here in the winner stage. And this is gonna be covered by the mainstream, so we don't care about this. I mean, these are some really good games. Don't get me wrong; these are some really good matches. But we're gonna be focusing on, or at least we're not gonna be casting that on the channel. Unfortunately, we're focusing on the open stage. But yeah, the link is in the chat if you're curious. When it comes to bracket C and bracket D, I'm torn. Dolan is one of the CranKy Ducklings. He is one of our boys, so I feel like I should follow Dolan here when it comes to this C and D portion. At the same time, there are a lot of really good matches, like Nightmare versus Scarlet. Well, the potential Nightmare versus Scarlet looks like a lot of fun. Dolan into Bunny. That TvT is going to be a short one, I can tell. I mean, we'll see. Dolan, he has some cheeses up his sleeve, but he's also got some macro as well. We'll say. Up here, the potential Bjorn versus Su or Dia, like the TVZ here looks like a lot of fun as well. Hearthstone versus Lambo, like there's a lot of really good matches. It's hard to pick. I don't think there's necessarily a wrong answer. Yeah, there's a lot of good matches, so we have to pick and choose. We'll get there. So yeah, that's happening in 2 days. 2 days time. We have the open bracket. 2 days time. What do I want? I want to cast everything. I want to cast it all. We usually do cast everything. I should say that live we're going to be casting either Group A or Group B, and Group C and Group D. After the replay packs are sent out to the public, we'll be casting the other group as well. Usually there isn't a lot of coverage in the open stage. I remember I think it was for Atlanta. For DreamHack Atlanta last year, we were literally the only casters covering the open stage. We were literally the only ones. I remember like Steadfast and Dave Testa and BMOF, like they weren't covering it. I think they were at the event actually. I think if I remember at Atlanta, I think Steadfast and BMOF, they were actually a part of the main cast of casters, which is why they weren't doing a B stream. So we were the only ones, and we could. There was a lot that wasn't casted because of that. So if that's the case again, then we'll just do a replay cast later. To catch everything that we missed. But yeah, exciting stuff. Catching up. Oh. I just don't like mirrors in general. I break them, Pop. Oh, you're an animal. Calm down. Where's MaxPax? MaxPax does not compete in offline events. MaxPax doesn't travel, so he wouldn't be here. This is offline. Are you casting for the ESLB stream? No, it's gonna be here on this channel. It's gonna be on the CranKy Ducklings, so it's gonna be like a side stream. Technically, we might be the B stream or the C stream, but it's gonna be happening here on the CranKy Ducklings. Are these brackets randomized? These are some really bad brackets. I believe they're seeded. I don't know though. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I believe they should be seeded. It's at the admin's discretion. Insane amount of mirrors and bad race spread. Yeah. Smurge. Where the duck stream, exactly. Duck stream. So yeah, exciting stuff. That's gonna be over the weekend. That's gonna be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So mark your calendars. If you happen to be native or local to the Texas area, then consider traveling and going to the event. It's gonna be a great time. I'm gonna be casting alongside some of the other CranKy Ducklings. Yaku might get involved. Maybe some of the other Ducklings as well. It's gonna be a long event. It's gonna be a whole day event, and even for us as well, like. This open stage usually lasts like 6 hours, and then you have the knockout bracket, which is another 6 hours. It's usually like 12 hours. It's usually like a 12-hour cast. So we're gonna be busy on Saturday. Gonna be busy. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Who wound up winning? Creator. Papi. Check out the VODs. It was a good cast. Good games. Go X CranKy Duck. Yeah. I'm definitely cheering for Patty. I'm cheering for Dolan. And we may end up casting Dolan versus Cyan here in bracket D as well. We'll figure it out. But yeah, otherwise, thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for the support. Again, plenty to look forward to here in the upcoming days. We just wrapped up with the KSL, and we will be live tomorrow catching up with ESL Open Cup Americas. Similar to this event, ESL Open Cup Americas happened 2 days ago, and we weren't able to cast it live. My sleep schedule right now is like an EU sleep schedule. It's not good. I mean, I say it's not good. Right now I'm on an EU sleep schedule because of all the casting. We've been casting the Logic games and House Open Cup and just a lot of events late into the night. And I'm intentionally keeping this sleep schedule because of DreamHack. If I'm gonna start casting at 1 AM and finish at 1 PM, I need to be on the sleep schedule. So because of that, I wasn't able to cast KSL live, and I wasn't able to cast ESL Open Cup Americas live either. So tomorrow, we're catching up. If you missed it yourself as well, and if you maybe want to catch up with ESL Open Cup Americas, we're doing a replay cast tomorrow at around this time, or before this time. Same start time as today. There you go. So less than 24 hours. We're going to be live here tomorrow with ESL Open Cup ESL Open Cup Americas, and then the day after that is DreamHack. So we still get you covered with some StarCraft, at least until DreamHack comes around. We got you covered there. I have an NA sleep schedule, and I'm European. I'll trade with you. That could work. True. But yeah, thank you so much. You're native to Texas, right? Light? Oh, you're an animal. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. If you enjoyed the cast, consider following us here on the CranKy Ducklings. Again, we're going to be casting DreamHack Dallas here as well. Technically, we have permission to co-stream. So after the open stage, we do have permission to co-stream as well. So we can co-stream the main broadcast. But it's very hit and miss co-streaming. Like I like the idea of having like a viewing party, sure, but I also like to sleep. I'd also like to sleep. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll see what we decide on the day. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for ESL Americas. If you want to support us, !socials in the chat. You can follow us on socials. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings, all social medias CranKy Ducklings. We have a YouTube channel where we upload on a daily basis. We're actually live there at the moment on YouTube as well, both YouTube and Twitch. I've been this isn't even the cast was live. SMH. I have been ignoring Twitch chat a little bit. Sorry, YouTube chat a little bit today, so I do apologize. But I usually try to keep up. Literally says replay cast. I don't understand your big revelation. True. This was a replay cast. SMH. Oh. Hola from Texas. Oh, hello, Vincent. Hello. You sound Aussie as fuck, bro. But with that, we're done for tonight. Again, you can follow us on YouTube, you can follow us on Twitch. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for ESL Americas. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Ciao.